Hello, welcome to your Monday Minute. I am coming off of such an insane weekend. I went to Wisconsin for a leadership retreat, and it was something that I earned for what I did and how I produced in my business in the past year, and I worked really hard to get there, and I honestly didn't really know what to expect going into it because I was kind of a little nervous, a little intimidated because I was going to be with, leaders that are just absolutely crushing life, crushing their businesses, crushing their personal growth journeys. And, for me, sometimes I just kind of feel inadequate going to those things. But for some reason, God was calling me. He was like, you need to get there. You got to do this and you got to learn. And there's going to be something transformational that happens in your life. And that could not be, more accurate. I'm coming back from this weekend completely mind blown at what happened the moment I allowed myself to grow. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about on this Monday really quickly, is what happens when you allow yourself to do that. And when I say allow yourself, I'm saying I know it's super easy to open up a self-help book or listen to a podcast or talk to a friend or go to a conference or whatever it might be that makes you feel like you're learning, or reading a textbook or going to class, whatever it might be. And I know that it's easy to think okay, I did that, I read that chapter, I listened to that podcast, and I've grown, I've evolved, I've learned. But I think that growth is way more mental than we realized. Growth is something that you have to intentionally go after, and you have to be, I don't think I can think of a better word than intentional. It's something that you have to pursue wholeheartedly. And I have felt a little stalled out this year. I felt stalled out in my business. I felt a little stalled out in life. I felt a little, I was drained a majority of this year going through infertility stuff. And, I just felt like I haven't, and I've been putting so much into my own team and my own business that I forgot that, Kelsey needs some love and attention too. And that's something that I'm sure a lot of you do. A lot of you do that every single day. You put every single person in front of you. You put your kids in front of you. You put your husband in front of you. You put, work and your coworkers and mom and dad and whatever it is in front of your own well-being. And before you know it, you're run ragged and you're miserable and you're unhappy and you're sad. And the list can go on and on. But the reason I bring this up is because this weekend, I knew going into this, when I got onto the plane on Thursday, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, God, I am struggling. I am struggling, and I don't even know why I'm struggling so bad. I just feel stuck. And so I said this prayer. I was just like, Lord, help me grow this weekend. Help me find a way to move past what I'm going through and enter this new level of just who I'm supposed to be. And that's why I say that growth is intentional, because in that moment I made a decision that I was going in there expectant and I was going to learn something, and I knew I needed change. So when I went in this weekend, I didn't know what that growth was going to look like for me. For me, I was thinking I was going to come out there and all of a sudden I was going to have all these new ideas for my business, and I was going to figure out exactly why my team wasn't where it was yet, and I was going to figure out exactly what I needed to do, and all I needed to do was go to home, plug together a few systems, and bam, all of a sudden I was going to have the business of my dreams, and it was all going to be fixed. But what actually happened is when you start asking questions and you go in and you're totally 1050% okay with honesty, talking to somebody or listening to something, whatever, that will not lie to you. If you guys have people lying to you and encouraging the bad stuff, don't do that. But what I realized, like I said, is that when you have, somebody that's honest with you, the things that kind of come back to you when you ask those questions are hard to hear, I guess to say. And this weekend I heard some things and I had to listen and accept some things that I really wish weren't true. But the more that I dive into it and the more that I journal, the more that I think about it, it's accurate to a T. Everything that was told to me this weekend as I answered my questions and said, why isn't this happening in my business? Or why isn't this going on? It was me. It was 100% me. And what it really boils down to is that when we go through different stages in our life, this can be for business, life, whatever. And since you guys are I talk to you guys through my newsletter every week, this is an overall view of this. But, there's seasons where you'll hit goals and things will happen for you that are really good. And you still are I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm getting closer. But the thing is like what gets you to, like if you're thinking about stories on a building, what got you to the first floor isn't going to be what gets you to the second. What gets you to the second won't be what gets you to the third. If you want things to continue going positive in your life and to get better and better and better, your growth has to go with that. And our growth caps us out. It caps us out and keeps us stuck. So everything that I heard this weekend just made me realize that I wasn't wrong, that I wasn't failing, that, I wasn't doing something like, completely off the wall wrong in my business. It was me and my lack of growth and like pushing to get to the next level. So with that being said, what I want to encourage you guys to do this week is I want you to find a way to grow. And how we grow is by stepping outside of our comfort zones. It's by really diving into who we are. Like write a letter to yourself, like in who you want to be 1 year from now, or really sit down and figure out, like write down one goal that you have for your life and say, who do I need to be to make that happen for myself? Who do I need to be to make sure that this is my reality in X amount of days? And once you get the answer to that question, and then ask yourself why, and then ask yourself why again, and then ask yourself why again until you get 7 layers deep. I'm talking 7. I'm talking like what you originally write down as your onion, and we're gonna pull back layer by layer by layer by layer by layer by layer 7 times. And what you're gonna find out is exactly why you're going after this. You're gonna be so crystal clear on it. You're gonna have this goal and this reason, and then you're gonna be able to start the growth process. You're gonna be able to ask yourself that question, who do I need to become in order to achieve that next goal? So that's exactly what I'm working on right now, is after this weekend, setting myself really, after I figured out really what I want out of my life and my business, who do I need to become in order to achieve all those things in my life? And that's the golden question. And then once you figure out who you need to become, find ways to grow into that. Like look for resources, talk to people who've done it, like do all the things. But until we are okay with change and with growth, nothing will change. So you guys have an amazing rest of your week. I'm excited for everything to come, and I will talk to you guys next week.